Greetings, Grumblers. Today, quick and condensed tips for NIX progression. Some of this you may already have seen from other creators because a lot has been discussed already, but there is one important thing that I think many people missed, especially for leveling skills efficiently. And after that, I will also give a few reminders about Watermark progression, so you do not waste resources for no reason. The goal is not to make a huge guide, just to give you the useful reminders in the same order as I show them on screen. Let's go. First tip, skill books. I had completely forgotten about this, even though it has been in the game forever. Leveling skills costs a lot of books, and if you craft everything, it becomes extremely expensive. You need a lot of materials, a lot of stones, and those stones disappear much faster than expected. If you play several specs like I do, it becomes painful very quickly. You still need blue stones, then yellow books, and the cost keeps going up. It is one of those systems where you feel like you have a comfortable stockpile, and then suddenly after a few upgrades, everything is gone. But with resistance medals, you can buy books directly. And the important detail is this. Purple books and omnipotence books have the same price, but omnipotence books can be dissolved into even more purple books. So every week at minimum, buy your purple books if you still need them, and especially buy the omnipotence books. Do it before spending the medals on comfort items, because skill progression is one of the biggest bottlenecks right now. In terms of value, this is one of the best purchases available right now. This vendor has been updated, so do not forget what it offers. We need those resources. I bought some other items too, but honestly, right now, while skills and passives are so expensive, I am not even sure that was the best choice. If you play many specs, you have a lot of work ahead of you, so do not ignore this. It costs nothing except playing the game, doing events, killing bosses, and collecting medals that you will naturally get anyway. Still talking about books, do not forget secret dungeons. You do not need to rank extremely high, but at least go get the achievement rewards. They give a lot of brilliant parchments, and those are very useful right now. Even if you do not want to push for a perfect score, just clearing the useful rewards thresholds is already worth the time. I also still see many people farming B3. Why not, of course, but personally, I think some options are more interesting in terms of time saved. Maybe not always financially better, but more useful for what we need now. You can spend your Abyss points by killing mobs. Monastery is often crowded, but when you can find a quiet moment, it is a very good spot, both in Remnants, in the PvP version, or in the PvE version. In PvE, you spend Abyss tokens. In the PvP version, killing mobs gives purification flame points. And because there are so many mobs, you still get decent chances at useful loot. You can also go to Arkham Castle, especially the first PvE rooms. It is not the most glamorous farm in the world, but it is simple, dense, and very efficient when you just want to empty tokens quickly. The mobs have around 100,000 HP. There are tons of them, and you can burn through roughly 60,000 Abyss tokens in about 30 minutes. You leave with experience, yellow parchments, useful stones, and your bag is not completely filled with random useless gear. If you need dust, sure, farm for dust, but I do not think that is what most people are missing right now. For pure time efficiency, this kind of dense mob farming is much more comfortable. Now, quick recap for anyone who did not follow everything about Watermark or gear score progression. The big thing to remember is that you need to level all equipment categories in parallel. For example, if your weapons and accessories are at 63, but your armor is still stuck at 62, then you cannot really push the rest properly until the armor catches up. So, be smart when choosing your weekly scrolls. If the selection gives you jewelry but you need weapons, refresh and try to snipe the category you actually need. The system rewards balance, not just pushing one slot while ignoring the others. For weapons, remember Holy Illusion in Secret Dungeon. At max difficulty, you can get weapons and jewelry, but personally, I often do it on medium difficulty because I mostly want the weapon proc, and it tends to happen quickly enough. Do one run, raise the weapon category by one step, then go back to other content. Spread it across the week instead of forcing everything at once. In regular dungeons, you can get armor and jewelry too, mostly armor or more accurately essences, but it still helps with crafts. And if you want to push your Watermark, remember the crafts that cost only 100 Shimir. After enough failed attempts and enough ashes, you can craft one of those pieces. That is what unlocked a threshold for me after being stuck for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes one crafted item is enough to reopen progress on the rest of your account. This also matters when you go into Remnants. You do not always need to open everything. Sometimes we want to keep every single item, but that is not always the smartest choice. Be selective. The goal is not to hoard every box forever, but to open the ones that actually help your blocked category. And when you loot NIX items, if you want to know what can be inside, check the loot table, left-click the item, click on it, zoom in, and the game shows what can drop. Some NIX items have specific names, which means they contain specific loot pools. It is not always full random. So if you are trying to raise a specific watermark category, use that information. Open the items that can actually give you what you need. I exaggerated one number earlier when talking about the odds, but the main point is still the same. Some containers are much more targeted than others. If you're missing armor, do not blindly open things that mostly help weapons. If you're blocked on accessories, try to aim for sources that can actually move that category. If you ignore all of this, progression will still happen with time, but it will take much longer. So go slowly, think about your categories, buy your books, use secret dungeons, check your NIX Loot Tables, and be a little strategic. You do not need to rush everything in one day, but you can avoid wasting a lot of time, and that is the whole point of this little recap. That is it for me for now. Have a great day, take care, and see you soon.
Here we go again, same disaster, softer end, built in the dark, then patched in shame, but somehow we still love this game. Here we go again.